There are three ways to create a brow lift with neurotoxin. As we discussed in Introduction to Neurotoxin, the frontalis can be ejected in a way that creates a brow lift. We have our line of convergence, and everything above the line of convergence does not affect the eyebrow positioning. Any injection below the line of convergence can and will affect the eyebrow positioning. So, following those injection patterns from Introduction to Neurotoxin, which mostly includes, if you're looking for a brow lift, minimal injections above this lateral portion of the brow. The second way to create a brow lift with neurotoxin is to inject the glabella complex. This will create a medial brow lift because when the patient brings their brow together, everything pulls inward and downward. So when we inject those areas with neurotoxin, everything will lift up medially. The third way to create a brow lift is on the lateral eyebrow. So we would inject the lateral portion of the bicularis oculi to allow this part of the muscle to relax, thus slightly lifting the lateral portion of the eyebrow. There is a concern about inadvertently injecting this muscle, which is the palpebrae levator muscle, which is why we need to be very cautious when we are marking out and mapping for our injection. The first marking we want to make is going to be at the lateral limbus line, so where the color of the eye meets the white of the eye. And we know that we do not want to go medial to this injection, this line, because this can inadvertently inject this palpebrae levator muscle, thus causing eyelid ptosis. So our first injection is going to be just underneath the tail of the brow. We have our lateral limbus line, another just underneath the tail of the brow, and one at the arch of the brow. For added safety, we can inject more units at the tail of the brow and less as we come in to even more lessen the risk of injecting this muscle and creating a ptosis. Typically, units could range from anywhere from 4 to 6 units per side. So, for example, if I were going to dose this patient, depending on the lift that I would like, let's say I want kind of a more minimal lift, I'm going to dose with 4 units, and I want to do more on the end and less as I come in.